And welcome back. Global Kids held its 2022 Benefit Gala, which raised critical funds to advance the organization's mission to educate, activate, and inspire youth from underserved communities to take on action and critical issues that are facing the world. We're pleased to be joined now by the Executive Director of Global Kids, Dominique Jones, and Alumna Scholarship Recipient at Global Kids, Jillian Lewis. And ladies, I want to welcome you to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And Dominique, I'll give you an opportunity to just share a little bit more because for somebody who may not be so familiar with Global Kids, take us inside.
Well, Global Kids was founded over 33 years ago, and really with this intent to prepare young people to be on the global stage. So, in essence, we were educating young people around issues that are happening in the world, but also how they impact them in the communities by which they live. Over our history, we've evolved and we've become one of New York City's largest after school time programs, as well as community school providers. And in those programs, we're also helping young people address some of the barriers to academic success. And we know that building awareness, building their voice is what helps them to be successful, not only in school, but when they go on towards their future.
And you've had some partners that actually help you in young people's success. You had your 2022 Benefit Gala and the opportunity to provide some scholarships. How'd the gala
Yes.
go?
The gala went well. We raised well over six figures in support of our mission. And one of the things that we did this year, which is our first time, is that we awarded two scholarships to our alumni of our programs, both here in New York City and then also in Washington, D.C. And we're so pleased that we could offer that scholarship to Jillian, who's joined us today, because she really exhibits exactly what Global Kids is about. She's excelled in school, and she really wants to, in her life, pay it forward and make real change in the communities that she lives. And I know she's from the Bronx, so she definitely is going to make an impact in the
Oh,
Bronx.
well, we know if she's from the Bronx, she's going to represent that is going to happen. So thank you.
Okay.
But Jillian, let me bring you in. You know, you're a student at Rutgers University pursuing, I think it's law it is. And talk to me about your time in Global Kids and how it's impacted your life.
Yeah, so I started Global Kids in my sophomore year of high school. I started going with my friends just to do something fun after school on Fridays, but we really ended up enjoying it and loving it. So we all stayed until our senior years. And I was involved in a program called Citywide, which was on Fridays, which was a group of high school students across New York City who would come together Fridays and we would talk about social issues globally and locally. And then in my senior year of high school, I was involved in conference planning, which Global Kids has a annual youth conference. So we select a social issue that impacts people, globally. And we started to think about like who would we want to speak, what type of programs would we like to focus on in the conference. And so I was very active in that my senior year, and I have very fond memories from that.
As a young person having this kind of exposure, talk to me. What does that mean for you? Because you're talking globally, right? And it's not just around the block. It literally is taking a look at things that are happening across the world, having the opportunity to have conferences and other things that are really levels of exposure that sometimes every person doesn't have.
Right. It was very important to me, especially in high school, because coming from the Bronx, I lived in Kingsbridge. I lived in Hyattsbridge at the time. And so I didn't really ever think about anything beyond how it impacted me or my family. Like I was just very focused on, the here and now and how my life was impacted by a social issue. But going to Global Kids, it helped me to realize that there is a world beyond my block. There's a world beyond the Bronx. And so thinking about things from a global perspective, just removing myself from like the center of the conversation helped me to be able to empathize with other people, especially when I'm thinking about going into public administration, nonprofit administration, and helping people. Global Kids definitely helped me to expand my mind and think about things beyond myself.
And Dominique, it's really about the next generation, preparing next generations for the future, right? And so many times we have young people who are very talented, very capable, but I think Jillian says it best. You're kind of stuck in your own world. And we know that
Hmm.
kids sometimes can only live within a 20 by 20 block radius and don't really have the opportunity. But it seems as though the work of Global Kids has really given them that level of exposure that sometimes just doesn't always come.
Well, I think you're 100% correct. It's about the exposure, but it's also about building their agency. They should know that their city is yours. They should know that their country is theirs. They should know the world is theirs. And we should be giving them the opportunities to explore and to really work on issues that are important to them. Jillian spoke about the conference. I'm not sure I wasn't here when she did conference planning, but this last year, our young people focused on anti-hate crimes because they saw that happening in their community. But the wonderful thing is they developed a plan around what are the things that they could do to stop it and to stop the hate in their communities. But they also looked across around the world and to see what other young people are doing. This year, our young people are really focused on climate change. We're so fortunate that we had two young people go to the COP27 in Egypt just this past week. So they're really seeing up close and personal what it is. How do we make change, not just on the local level, but on the global level? And I think that with that exposure, they're going to be ready to do amazing things.
So, how do you go about getting your young people? I mean, obviously, you got some high caliber young people. How do you go about reaching out to them?
So our young people, so one of the things is that we actually go to where our young people are. We're embedded in schools. And so we provide after school programming. We lead community school strategies within 25 schools across New York City and Washington, D.C. And so that's where, we're working with all young people and those who express real interest in the work and learning more. They come to programs like Jillian did on a Friday night when they could be doing something else. They want to come together and they want to talk about the issues that are affecting them. And we provide that place and space for them to do that. And so, but know that our organization, we really want to make sure that young people, all young people have opportunity and access to these great opportunities and to build their voice and ultimately their agency.
Jillian, before I let you go, I got to ask the question. When you think about the program and the work that you did, what most sticks in your mind?
I feel like interacting with students from across New York City. I even had the chance to make friends from Little Rock, Arkansas. I did a program with GK over the summer with the Council on Foreign Affairs, and I got to meet so many different people that I would have never been able to meet had I not been in this program. And I think that in connecting with other young people who are also socially minded and also just really interested in learning about the world and trying to find their way in it. I think that was very impactful for me. So meeting people and like making new friends was my biggest thing.
Well, Jillian, I want to offer you a great congratulations. Keep doing great work. If you don't know, as I said it wrong earlier, she is actually pursuing a major in public and not-profit administration with the focus on legal studies out there at Rutgers University. My godson will be very happy, a Rutgers alum. Thank you. Continue to do the great job that you're doing, Jillian. And Dominique, thank you for encouraging our young people and providing opportunities for them so they can have that kind of exposure. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
All righty. Well, we want our viewers to know, if you want more information, of course, visit the website at globalkids.org and then follow them on Instagram and Twitter at Global Kids. We encourage you to don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Open coming up right after this.